Welcome to this week's Movie Math, giving you an in-depth analysis of the box office for the weekend of March 16th, where 21 Jump Street found itself at the head of the class. Not bad for a high school comedy, which ironically nobody in high school can go see due to its R rating. But that didn't stop 21 Jump Street, which opened on par with other notable R-rated comedies like Knocked Up, Superbad, Wedding Crashers, and last year's Bad Teacher. Yet The Hangover still remains valedictorian. This is Channing Tatum's second big hit of the year and a great follow-up to Jonah Hill's Oscar nomination. In fact, the 1-2 punch is a much-needed act of redemption for Hill, whose career was flagging with The Sitter, Cyrus, and Get Him to the Greek, not to mention the short-lived Alan Gregory. And with Hill also serving as executive producer and getting a story credit for 21 Jump Street, expect his stock to rise in Hollywood exponentially. And if Tatum can deliver a third win with Magic Mike in June, we'll consider both these guys freshly minted Hollywood royalty. The same goes for Illumination Entertainment, who is making a strong bid for the title of Tinseltown's go-to animation house. Yes, while Pixar has been recently faltering, Cars 2, no nod for this year's Best Animated Feature Oscar, and losing the Best Animated Shorts Oscar, the Lorax continues to perform at the box office. And while for Disney it all started with a mouse, it seems Illumination Entertainment is aware its sweet spot is Dr. Seuss. That's why last week Chris Meledandri announced he'll be making his third Dr. Seuss adaptation. His first was Horton Hears a Who when he was at Fox with The Cat in the Hat. Now, while Hollywood's first attempt wreaked more havoc on Dr. Seuss's reputation than Thing 1 and Thing 2, odds are strong that Meledandri, just like the magical Cat in the Hat, can clean up the mess. And speaking of Pixar, their reputation took another blow as the first live-action pick to come from one of the studio's top creative teams failed to connect with audiences. While some fans and Disney itself had hoped that word of mouth would be able to counter John Carter's bad buzz, that sadly wasn't the case as the pick fell 55% in its second weekend to third place. The pain was eased a little with an additional $40 million from the foreign box office, but Disney is still looking at a loss of $100 million or more. In fact, rumors are swirling in Hollywood that this could lead to a major restructuring of Disney's live-action feature films department in the next few months. Somewhere Dick Cook is smiling. Hey, Johnny Depp told Disney not to get rid of the guy. As for the weekend's other new releases, it looks like audiences do hable Espanol, or at least aren't turned off by subtitles, as Casa de mi Padre managed to open at number 9 despite playing in just under 400 theaters. Also of note, the Spanish language pick boasted the third highest per-screen average of the entire top 10, and easily bested the weekend's other limited release, Jeff Who Lives at Home. As for the rest of the top 10, it was a good weekend for family films, as both 1,000 Words and Journey 2 enjoyed the smallest drops, while Project X in its third weekend was hit hard by 21 Jump Street and thus had the biggest drop. But this coming weekend, every movie is going to get an arrow through the heart as The Hunger Games finally hits theaters. Industry analysts are calling pre-release tracking for the film stupid good, and that thanks to strong male appeal, it's tracking on par and perhaps even better than the last Twilight installment. Hey, that's the industry's comparison, not mine. I know you guys hate the Twilight Hunger Games comparisons, but you gotta remember this is how Hollywood is seeing the films. But it won't be much longer until we find out what impact that perspective has had on the Hunger Games creatively. And while no big movie is brave enough to enter the arena with Katniss, Sony Classics is going for a bit of counter-programming as The Raid finally hits US theaters, but in limited release. And that's the weekend box office. I'm Grace Randolph, and we just did some movie math. As always, thanks for watching, and I also hope you'll go beyond the trailer for these other top movies.